Alison.
Hi, I'm Michelle.
I'll be your counselor for
All
today.
right,
Just
perfect.
have a seat wherever you feel comfortable.
All right.
Did you find the place okay?
Yeah, a little difficult actually with all the construction and the new buildings being built now.
Oh yeah, a
Well,
few
the-
people have actually said that.
Yeah,
I don't know what's going up there, but yeah. Okay, so before we get started here, I just wanted to let you know that there's a few things we have to go over.
Okay.
Right? So the first thing is risk and benefits for treatment. Most people do benefit from treatment. I'd say about 90% of the time people do. Okay, but there are certain scenarios where they don't. They don't succeed or at the goal at hand, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So then we would refer them on or provide them with other services.
Okay.
Okay, so the other one is, this is free and voluntary. So by any means, like if you ever feel uncomfortable or you don't want to proceed, you can leave at any time.
All right.
Okay? You
Sounds
understand
fair.
that?
Yeah.
Okay, so the third is confidentiality.
Mhm.
Now, I just want to get a brief understanding. What do you think is a definition of confidentiality? Or
think
just a brief understanding?
it's like whatever we talk about stays between us, and none of the information is really shared
Okay,
with
so
others.
you are correct. So whatever you say here with me will stay within the agency. Okay, except for certain circumstances. I believe there's 5 certain circumstances.
Okay.
One is if me or my case files are submitted to court. Okay,
Alright, yeah.
Do you know what that means? Or?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, okay, perfect. Second is child abuse from anyone under the age of 16. If you report it to me, or if I'm suspicious that there is, child abuse in the home. Okay.
Okay.
So the third is sexual abuse by a healthcare practitioner. So that's like by a psychiatrist, or there's a few other ones as well, right?
Okay. Yeah.
So the fourth one is self-harm and harm to others. If you report self-harm to me, or you report that you want to harm someone else, I do have to go above and beyond and report that.
Okay.
All right, and the last one is just for a release of information form if I wanted to use your case files in a project I was doing or whatever, but you would know about that 100%
Of
because
course.
you would have to sign a
Yeah.
consent to release information
So you
form.
wouldn't be able to release it unless I.
No, you
Yeah,
would
okay.
know 100%. I would have to provide you with documentation that you would sign, and you would have to be completely informed about the
yeah.
scenario. at
That
hand.
sounds fair.
Okay, so I'm just gonna get you to go over this here quickly.
Okay.
All right, so read that
Perfect.
over,
Okay.
and then sign it if you deem it's appropriate to sign.
Okay. This sounds pretty standard. All right. Okay. And today's the 12th. There you go.
Okay, so before I sign this too, are you completely aware
Yep,
of this?
I completely
No
understand.
questions or
Nope.
concerns? Okay, perfect.
This isn't my first rodeo.
Oh, no?
No.
Have you been with us before? or-
No, not with you guys, just with another agency
Oh,
back
okay.
in my hometown.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, so what brings you here today?
My fiance actually suggested that I come here. He says that my drinking has gotten out of hand,
Okay.
and that
Yeah.
and that it's starting to affect our relationships, like with others, like even like our own relationships, personal life, work, and all that.
So it's not only affecting you guys, it's affecting everyone else?
Yes, I usually work in the mornings, and lately it's been harder to get up because of the hangovers, and harder to get into work, and I've been calling sick a lot lately because of these hangovers, and he says that it's like he's not okay with it. Like he doesn't want to feel the need to take care of me all the time, and like to have to watch out for me. Yeah.
Okay. So from what I'm understanding with that, is that he thinks, or is it you think, or
I
is it a bit of
agree
both?
that it is an issue,
Okay.
but I don't know, it's just, it's not something that I've been, like, I haven't noticed lately, it's like him that's noticed, and he's been, confronting me about it, and it's just difficult not to drink.
So he thinks alcohol's affecting your personal
Yes.
relationships?
Usually when I get home from work or midday when I go hang out with my friends or something, like
Okay.
we'll usually go out for drinks and it'll be one glass of wine that leads to two, that leads to the whole bottle is finished. It's just easier to manage myself after drinking. It's difficult to come home and not like just be sober. Like it's really difficult for me. He's away a lot lately too, so
Away?
yeah, he travels a lot for his business.
Okay.
Yeah, and so like, when he's home, it's not as bad, the drinking.
For you?
For me.
Okay.
Like, cause I know he's there. It sometimes like there are points in which like I do get really drunk and like I can barely walk and he has to carry me up the stairs, and I think he's just getting really annoyed with all that.
Okay. So from what I'm understanding is that you feel that it's too difficult to come home to with being sober. So
Yeah.
you use the alcohol to be more comfortable with coming home.
I feel like yes, but it's also just to be more comfortable in my skin.
Oh, for yourself?
Yes.
Okay. And so he approached you and said that it's affecting your personal relationships and between you two and others, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so do you feel as if it's affecting your relationships other than what you've already like mentioned? Or?
Well, I've completely changed my group of friends lately.
Okay.
Like this is happening for the past few months, and I started hanging around with a few girls at work who like I usually didn't ever talk to. They do drink a lot. They drink more socially. Like they don't get as drunk as I do.
Okay.
Like we'll usually go out after like I said, after work or even during work, and it's terrible because I was up for a promotion at work, but ever since that's happened, it's like I lost the promotion because of
You not being able to get
Yes.
into work?
yeah, and because
Yeah.
like I've started hanging around these other girls, and I've completely sort of just dropped and stopped talking to like our normal group of friends.
Like you and your boyfriend?
Yes.
Okay. Alright, so how long has this been going on, approximately?
It's been going on for a few months. It was actually after my ex-boyfriend started contacting me and harassing me, and that's when all the drinking started. Like he literally just kept calling me, emailing me. He's like trying to find out where I am, and he just keeps he won't stop. And I've changed my number, and I've like changed my email, which is very difficult in the business that I am, like having
Yeah.
to give that out again.
Yeah.
But he just keeps finding it, and he just keeps calling and emailing, and like my boyfriend doesn't know about it, or my fiance doesn't know about it because they don't get along. Like he doesn't like him at all. Well, obviously they don't get along, but like he just doesn't like him at all, and if he knew, he would just be absolutely outraged that my ex is trying to get into contact with me.
Okay, so from what I'm understanding or what I've heard you say is that you are drinking to be comfortable in your own skin, for one, and for two, because of your ex-boyfriend constantly harassing you and whatnot. I see that you've made the necessary changes in your life to stop that from happening, right? But your boyfriend is what I wanna know a little bit more about in that drinking sense, because you said that it was more or less him that kind of approached you about it and wanted you to come in, right? So
Yeah.
do you maybe feel differently about that situation, or
I mean,
how do you feel about that?
he's a lot different than my ex. Like, he actually seems to care about my well-being.
Your fiance?
Yeah, my fiance. He, I don't know. It just, like, I kind of knew what was happening. Like, I knew what was going on, but I didn't care. And then when he approached me, it kind of opened my eyes.
And kind of made you
The fact that, like, he was worried about me and wanted me to seek help about it. And he has stopped traveling now. Like, he just stays at home and he gets his employees to go out for him just to make sure that I'm okay. And, like, I feel really bad about that. Like, I don't feel like it's right that he needs to stop his life or put a pause on his career just to help me through mine or help me through my problems.
Yeah. Okay. So, now, when did he stop doing this? Like, when did he stop traveling? How long ago approximately?
It was a month and a half ago.
And did that progressively make it worse, or how did that affect your drinking?
It made it a little better, I guess. I mean, I would do it behind his back. Like, I would stay over at a friend's house, or I would lie to him and tell him that, like, one of my coworkers isn't feeling too well, or she's upset, so I'm gonna stay with her for the night and make sure she's okay, and then just crash at her place after we go to the bar or something. Like, I feel the need to, like, keep drinking, and I know that's not right, and I want it to stop. Like, I don't want to feel the need to actually have to drink in order to feel okay with myself.
Okay, so now it's not just a want type thing, like you just casually want one, it's more
like in order to feel better or okay with myself, then yeah, I would need to.
Have you had any difficulties with alcohol-related issues in the past at all, or?
Not really. I know my ex the only problem related to him, he would constantly go out and get drunk and do drugs, and he would come home and just yell at me and hit me, and just any problems that he had always seemed to be my fault, and like he just wasn't there for me, and like he expected me to stay home and like, cook and clean while he did his thing, but then he wouldn't come home right after work. He would just go out with the boys. And
so basically he was telling you to do one thing and do the other, is that what I'm understanding, or like you?
Yeah, well,
he wanted you to do something, but he didn't want to do it himself. He was doing that kind of opposite.
Sort of, like he would expect me to do stuff at home, but even if it was like problems at work, like he would come home and yell at me, and it would feel as if like it was my fault that like he got demoted, or that it was my fault that his boss yelled at him today.
Okay, so how do you feel that's in relation to your current relationship? Do you feel like you guys are kind of mimicking that situation, or how do you feel about that?
When I drink to the point where I can't do that to him, my fiance, because like I know what it's like to be like that.
You've been in that situation before type thing?
But it helps me, like since my ex has been contacting me, it's helped me with dealing with that.
Oh really?
Yeah, and like I said, my fiance has no idea that my ex has been contacting me. He knows all about the previous relationship.
Yeah.
So he would be very, very upset if he knew. And I can't tell him because I feel like he would do something very stupid.
Stupid?
Yeah, like he would go to like my hometown and possibly be in there would be a physical altercation or something. And that's just, I can't put him in that situation. Like, he's a very respectable man, and he's very high up in his company, so, like, I can't, like, I know in a heartbeat that he would do it. I know in a heartbeat that he would go out there even, like, without letting me know, and he would confront my ex about this, and that's just a risk I don't want to take.
Okay, so how long have you and your fiance been in a relationship for?
2.5 years.
2.5 years. Okay, and has it just, how was the first maybe year?
It was great. It was perfect. It was hard. It was great, but it felt almost too good.
Okay.
Because he was treating me with the utmost respect. He was there for me through everything. Like, he was a shoulder to cry on. Like, he made sure that I was okay all the time. He, like, even when he went out for business trips, like, he would Skype me every night. He never went out. He would always call me. He would tell me what he was doing. Like, I never worried. Like, I trusted him. But at the same time, it felt like it was too good to be true. It felt like, at first, like, it felt like he was only being nice to me to get something out of me.
So your drinking is currently affecting you, is what you were
Yes.
saying, at work?
Yes.
Okay, so how is that directly affecting you at work, other than the promotion? Is it any other ways?
Like I've said before, I have called in sick a lot more, been waking up hungover. I'm supposed to dress very professional, and I've been slacking a little bit on that. I've just, my workload has increased because I haven't been doing it as much because I've been preoccupied with hangovers or with going out for drinks or,
Okay, so what would you say is your main priority in this session?
My main priority, what I want to do is to kind of help cope or stop drinking or slow it down, and to be able to, I guess my relationship is a little bit on the rocks because of it, so I want to definitely be able to fix that.
Okay, so you said that you've been in counseling before?
Yes.
Was it one-on-one with just like the counselor and you, or was it?
Yeah, it was regarding, it was,
if you don't mind.
yeah, no, of course. It was right after I broke up with my ex.
Okay.
And I was in shambles, and my mother told me maybe it would help if I went and sought counseling. So that did help me a lot, and I hadn't heard from my ex in a while, and I just, as soon as I started hearing from him.
So what I'm hearing is you were somewhat successful in that,
Yes,
in the services
it was.
provided for you there. Okay, so have you considered maybe couples counseling, maybe?
No,
No?
I haven't considered it. I haven't felt the need to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess our relationship is pretty good, but it might be able to help. It might be able to help him understand what I'm going through, and it might be a good way to be able to tell him what's going on, and for him not to freak out and run away. And
so how you're feeling is you want to tell him,
yes,
but you feel as if you can't, or
yeah, I can't. I feel like I can't tell him without him getting really angry and taking the next flight out to Vancouver to see my ex.
So you're feeling as if he would leave.
He would leave. He would leave to deal with the situation.
Okay.
That he would take it upon himself to go and deal with my ex himself in order to make sure that I'm okay. In order to make sure that this never happens again. And that's what I'm scared of, is what he'll do.
And is there anything else, stress-wise or anything else in your life that would promote this, this excessive drinking that you're claiming that you're doing?
It's not really, I mean, like, I do a good job at work, I'm really good with time management, so I don't have to worry about that. It may, like, that was before, but I guess lately I've been slacking, so when I get really overwhelmed and stressed, I kind of just drop everything and I forget about everything. And then, I mean, I usually go drink anyway, so that might be like another cause.
So what do you feel is really pushing you to get that drink, to have that drink?
It's just the constant emails. I mean, I'll get emails from like different addresses, and they'll be all from him. And then
from your ex?
Yeah, and sitting at work and having my computer open and seeing these new emails pop up, and I mean, like I said, they're from different email addresses with like different subheadings, so I don't even really know if it's him sending it or if it's a client sending it. And then I open it and I read it and I see what he says to me, and it brings me down.
So how does that, when that happens at work, what happens after you?
I kind of just shut down, and I'll sit there and I won't look at my computer screen, and I'll work on whatever, but I won't be focused on it. So I don't even do my work well. Like, the quality of my work isn't that great. But then as soon as like lunchtime hits or it's almost time to finish, like, I'll kind of mingle and like kind of just make plans to go out for drinks. I mean, like, if one person doesn't want to, there's always going to be somebody that is down to go out for a few beers.
Okay. So what exactly is the work that you do? If you don't mind me asking. Just get a kind of brief history.
I work at a marketing agency.
Okay.
Yeah, so we market different products for people, and so like we each have like a small clientele, and like we help them put their products out on the market, kind of thing.
Okay, you seem like you're very knowledgeable.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's really awesome that you're continuously doing that, even though you're struggling with this drinking habit. Okay, so have you ever used any strategies or coping mechanisms to maybe slow this drinking process down, or is there any you can think of that?
Not really. I mean, I haven't really done any coping mechanisms for the drinking. Like, I would usually
Like dealing with the stress and whatnot as well.
Yeah. Well, they'd all usually be negative. Like, dealing with the stress, it would go to drinking, and then the drinking, I don't usually mean to get so drunk, but once I start, I feel like I can't stop. I mean, the only way I really deal with it is if I have my fiance with me, and then he kind of helps me slow down, or he kind of stops
you
me.
and the relationship between you and your fiance, would you say it's going well, other than the drinking, or how would you?
Yeah, I think it was going well. Like, it was going really well. I feel like he's just really fed up with taking care of me.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's just recently happened?
Yeah, the last few months when my ex started contacting me, it was fine at first. Like, it wasn't too bad. Like, it would be a few drinks and I'd get drunk, but it'd be on the weekends usually. And so he kind of just brushed it off. Was like, I'm just trying to like de-stress, like I'm trying to relax, I'm having a few drinks, and he was fine with that. It was still with like our group of friends. And then lately it's just been happening more and more often, and like over the course of the week. And so like he's had to like start taking care of me, and like he had to cancel business trips and stuff in order to be there for me. So like he's a really big support system, and I just feel like I'm letting him down, and I don't want him to feel like I'm too much for him.
Okay, so you said it's going well, but it's not going well now. How does he, when you guys get into these arguments that, you get stressed out about and you end up drinking with, how does he approach you in that situation? Like, how does that go?
He sounds really upset and disappointed when we argue about it. It's mostly, I don't really even remember, I'm usually too drunk. He doesn't really approach me about it when I'm sober. Like, he kind of just tries to make me feel good, like better about myself when I'm sober. Like, he kind of just tries to uplift me, maybe because he thinks I'm like drinking because I'm depressed, so he tries to make me feel better about it, about myself. But when we're drinking, or when I'm drinking anyway, he kind of just, he sounds really upset that, like, I'm doing this to myself, and that, like, I don't know. Like, he doesn't sound like he is ready to, like, get up and go, but, like, I just feel like one day he'll just snap, and then he'll just leave.
Okay. So, you've went from what I'm understanding, you went from having a few to quite a few, and it's because of the stress between you and your ex-boyfriend or whatever you were saying about him sending you emails and
Yes.
all that stuff, and then that causes you to fight with your boyfriend or your fiancé,
It causes
or
me
how does
to
that-
drink, and then
the
the fighting happens, yes.
Okay. All right. So, what in this kind of situation, what do you think you would benefit from this counseling, or what would you like to benefit? What is your personal area of growth? Or
I just want to be able to, like, stop drinking, but I also want to be able to see these emails, get these phone calls, and not feel the way that I feel about it.
oh, so you don't want? Okay. So, do you or do you not want them to stop?
I do want them to stop.
Sorry, just trying.
Yeah, I do want them to stop, but I feel like he won't stop.
So you just want to be able to cope with that kind
Yes.
of situation, or?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, I just want to get you to write down a personal area of growth for me, if you can.
Yeah, no problem.
All right. If you're comfortable with doing that.
Yeah, no problem. I can do that.
And then we can start off with that maybe next session.
Sounds
if you'd
good.
like to do that. Perfect. Okay. So do you feel as if this has benefited you a bit? Or?
Yes, I feel like I'm more clearer about what's going on in my life and what kind of where I need to fix my situation.
Okay. All right. So would you like to make another appointment?
Oh yes,
or?
for sure.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll have you do that. I'm just looking at the time here right now, and I know I have a client coming in.
Oh, yeah,
So
no
I do
problem.
have to cut it a little bit short, but we'll get to that next session, considering you do want to come in, and looking forward to meeting you
Alright.
again. Thanks, meeting you.
Yeah, you too.
Have a
Thank
good
you
day.
so much.